Welcome back to Ritual Woodworking. When I got started back in 2014, I just had this garage and some very simple work surfaces, one of which was this Allied bench that I got from credit card points of all things. It's just a simple, sort of based on the Black & Decker Workmate. It's two pieces that come together as a clamp. Right now I have it holding up a piece of oak, but had different uses. You could do it like this and do a little bit of planing or sawing. You could saw on one end, but otherwise it's just a very basic design. Most of the time I used it there were holes for putting bench dogs, things like that, for clamping things together. I found it to be really not very useful for hand tool woodworking. I'm sure it's great if you're sanding or power sounding, something like that, but for me it was just kind of rickety and just wasn't my thing. But it did work for many years, and I still use it occasionally for staining. Put a piece of plywood on top, put something on top of that, and then stain it or shellac it or whatever. It's a great finishing table, but that's what I had for many years. Moving forward from that, bought a couple of sawhorses. Just a local big box store. It's very simple plastic ones. They also make them in metal. This video is going to talk about the table that I received recently that will be in addition to this and help me to get rid of this thing. So, this is the table that I got that replaced the other piece. This is a Worx Pegasus. Several of you may be very aware of these things. They've been out on the market for a couple of years now. There's a lot of videos online that have ways in which you can use them, recommendations. They have comparisons between this and the Craig Workbench and some other types as well. Kite Army has been very helpful to me. His videos about how to use a Worx Pegasus table and some of his comparison videos. Check them out if you're in the market for one of these. I looked today online. Lowe's has these at my local store here in December of 2021 for $139. I've seen that you can buy them online for $99 or $100. I actually acquired this one from a friend of mine who was downsizing his shop. He had used it for a couple years. I can't really tell that he's used it much at all. It's in almost mint condition. Not knowing anything about this thing or how much it retailed for, I gave him $50 for this table, and I think that was a good deal because for my purposes, it'll work very well, and I'll show some of the features that it has. Again, there's lots of videos on this, so this is really going to be based on my use with the hand tool woodworking that I do and its use in the workshop, but join me as I look at different parts of this interesting table. First thing about this table, like most of them, it's a good flat surface. As you saw, it came together very easily, just one movement, and the whole thing goes together. You're not lifting and moving things like I did on that other table I had. Good solid surface, good plastic material. These grooves are for clamping system that'll work in here. It does come with bench dogs. The ones that I've seen in people's videos and online only show 4. This guy, the one that I got from my friend, has actually 8. There's 4 below and 4 on top. So I don't know if he bought some extra ones or if it comes with 8. Again, I got this from a friend, so I don't know what other feet, I don't know what all comes in the box. But I have 8 on mine. And for those of you who want to have multiples of these things, they do come with a connector that you can connect on the side, any side you want, and pair with another table. It's not really what I'm going to do. This table is more than adequate for my needs here in my workshop. It does have some rulers on top. It also has some little areas, compartment areas. You can put your screws, nuts, bolts, whatever. I've done different things for it. Primarily I've been using it for just putting some extra things on for these videos, except for today's. It's what I put the laptop and the camera and the microphone on, and so that's why you don't ever actually see it in the workshop. One use that I've been doing with it recently is this is a DMT sharpener, diamond sharpener. Because it's got sort of a rubber feet, it really works well with this plastic surface. I just put it against the dog, and then when I have a blade or something, I squirt it. Water's getting on the plastics, not bothering it at all. I've got my paper towels, sit there and sharpen my item. Water goes everywhere, but this is not moving around. Here I am bearing down on it, moving it. It's not really doing anything. So that's really helpful for me. And then I have this off to the side. I'm doing it. I can sharpen stuff and then go back to the workbench and work and do what I need to do. To use the central clamping system with the two slots, the clamps are kept on either side. And of course, as other people have mentioned, you can use these on other projects if you need to. They feed directly into the slots. It goes in. There's one on one side and one on the other. And then they're in place. Get a board. I should note that in addition to the Worx Pegasus, my friend was generous and gave me these two boards for free. This is oak. This is mahogany. You do not turn down mahogany when you're working with puzzle boxes like I am. In fact, this board, this piece of mahogany, is puzzle box 4, which I have just started making. This will probably be puzzle box 5. Don't like to see stuff waste. So anyway, put this in place, take the bunch dogs out. Don't need those right now. So bring that down, bring this down, clamp, clamp. For my needs, this is pretty good. This is darn good. So if I need to, if I'm doing like a router, a hand tool router, or if I'm using the plane, as long as I'm not hitting these side pieces, it should be fine. And of course I have to be wary of that. This is not certainly going to take away from my workbench, the portable workbench, but it is a nice second bench. It's a nice extra bench for some of the stuff that I do. Additional to this, of course, you can put this in this way. Pretty sturdy, again. Do this sort of thing, or if you're going to do cutting up slots or something like that, you can just do that. It holds it very well in place. And then people show that you can also do things like using the bench dogs in addition to, so you can do things like put your bench dogs here, especially if you have an odd shaped thing, something like that. You can hold it in this way. That's it. It's something you could do. I don't see any immediate benefit of doing that, but again, it would be helpful if you're using the plane. You can do the edges, where before you were hitting these things, hitting these side pieces, now you're not. And so that is a good use for that. And I'm learning about this thing every time I work with it. It's, again, I've only had this since around Thanksgiving. It was the day after Thanksgiving that I went and got this thing. So very, very thankful for it. It's been very useful for me here in the workshop. Some additional items with this. Down here, there are holes and a place where you can put a surge protector or a power strip. So you can attach that to there. If you're working with power machines or something like that, you can cord those in, and then that gives you an easy way to that. And of course, the bottom is a good sturdy place. Keep your extra dogs and also additional tools or anything else that you're working with. You can do that right down there. Now, of course, I use this primarily right here in the workshop, but I have also used this as part of the deck step project that I did recently. Here's a picture of using it out there. Clamps come out just as easily as they went in. And they stow on the side in brackets specifically for that purpose. So they always stay with the item. Ha ha ha. Yep, I check both sides. So, taking this down, at least to the sawhorse level, a couple buttons underneath. Just push it, and it just goes right down. Do the same on the other side. Now, should note, you couldn't take it down on the other side, or you can use it as a half table. Still works very well as a half table if you have something laying, something that hangs over. There's also, they show that you can use a half side of this. Set up your thing. If you've got a table or something that you need to work on at the top or the edge of it, or paint, you need it held in a certain different way, they do show that you can do it this way, and it doesn't have to be flat all the time. So over here, we push the buttons. This end goes down as well. Now, see how this looks. This now becomes the sawhorse feature. It can be used as a sawhorse. It does have those pieces on the side, the cutouts on the side where you can put boards through. If you have two of these, you can put boards through. That little trick that they do. Carpenters do that. If you had two of these, the two of them can be used together, of course, as sawhorses. Very durable and easy piece to carry around. At this point, it just folds up. Now, all these workbenches could pinch you if you didn't know what you were doing. This one has less of a chance of pinching you, but, you know, there are guards up here and stickers and things that talk about pinching fingers. Obviously, this was not made for children or people who just don't pay attention to what they're doing. So, but it's a great piece, carries very easily. In this workshop, it will be kept against the wall over there. When the car is in here, it's very easy to pick up, carry around. I can take it in the house. I can take it outside. There's all kinds of places I can take it. And of course, it's easy to store and also easy to set up. And that is my Worx Pegasus portable work table.